value-based payment, we are going to go through how to enter the data for the tiered supports initiatives. So first, just go over our agenda real quick. I'm going to give a very, very brief overview of what the payment opportunities are. And then Rachel Matheny, our research analyst, is going to go over some REDCap tips, and then we're going to provide an example data entry demonstration. We're also going to reiterate the data collection timelines and share some resources. So that's our agenda for today. So again, a very brief overview here. There's an opportunity for pay for reporting. And so this looks like for every month that data is submitted on behalf of your agency, then you can earn a payment for that. And for every month that you submit, you will earn that payment, which is paid quarterly. So for each month within that quarter, that data was submitted by the 15th, you would earn, and that would be paid out on a quarterly basis. So there's 3 opportunities here, or 3 types of data that you're going to enter. There's yearly data. So that's big things that don't change very often, like your policy and procedure documentation. So you're welcome to update that more than yearly if you made a big change or something like that to improve it. And you only have to submit that yearly, and we'll continue to review it as though that's what you're currently using. Then there's the quarterly. So in quarterly, that looks like data reports based on your monthly data. So evidence that you're aggregating the data and utilizing it for decision making. So on a quarterly basis, you'll provide that aggregated data reports. And then monthly, various data points around observations and the implementation activities happening, and you'll enter all of that in REDCap. The other opportunity for a payment is for a level of implementation, and this is an opportunity to be paid quarterly based on 3 levels of implementation. There's high implementation, moderate implementation, and low implementation. And you'll know going into this, you are able to self-score this. We've provided the assessment guide, and so that's available. So you should know what you're going to score going into it, and be able to self-assess. And again, all that's in REDCap. So REDCap is the program that we're using to collect all of this. And it's secure. It's really simple to use. We're going to, again, walk you through a visual demonstration of that here. And Rachel Matheny is here with me, and she is going to talk about how to access the program, as well as some great tips and tricks for its usage.
Hello, everyone. So the access request can be done through clicking on the QR link, or you can go to the website link that she has here on the screen. It's a pretty simple process, and I'll pull up an example. Kathleen, it's not allowing me to share. It just had it popped up, but now it's not, so give me a second.
Sorry, Rachel, go ahead and try it now.
Okay, there you go. So when you click on the link, you're going to be sent to this little survey website. You just fill it out. It's pretty self-explanatory. You'll give your contact information, your phone number, manager's name. You'll want to pick out your agency's provider org. Your agency might have more than one provider org number. You'll want to go with your provider organization, the top level. If you do not see your provider org name on here, then you'll contact this email group, and we'll be able to work through the troubleshooting we need and get your number on there. We ask for your agency address, agency phone number, a little information of why you're requesting, and then you just click on the different ones that you'll be reporting for the quarter. After that, you will add your signature, submit, and then the request will go to the team. There are two parts to your approval process. So the first time you request your access, you're going to see two different emails. You're going to first see an email that says you have access to the REDCap website. It will tell you to log in and set up a password. It will give you your username. After that, you'll see an email for each different initiative saying that you can now access the initiative. So you might see quite a few different emails, but once you log into the actual REDCap process, it's pretty simple and you'll be able to see all of your information on one platform. I'm trying to think, is there anything? I think that's all for the access, and then I'll have some tips after. Kathleen, do you want to pull up those tips and then I'll walk those through if you want?
Sure. Can you make me the presenter again?
There you go.
Thank you. Okay, Rachel's tips and tricks.
Okay, so the REDCap system is pretty self-explanatory, but sometimes people can get overwhelmed with the amount of options there are when you log in. So I want to put together just a little tips and tricks that you could refer back to when you are entering your data and you might get confused. Just to note, you're not going to be able to mess up your data. You're not going to be able to delete anything. So although there can be quite a few options to choose, I don't want you to feel like, oh, if I click the wrong button, I'm going to, send other people's data or mess up something. You're not going to be able to mess up anything. If you have any problems, just shoot us an email to that email group and we'll work on getting it for you. So my first tip is that your screen will not show all the options until you have entered your agency info. So this is required because this will then create your record ID, and it is also used for your payment purposes. So we do not want you to send in any data without this information because then we won't be able to pay you out. So once you hit the enter the agency information there and complete it all, you will then see your yearly reporting, quarterly reporting, and monthly reporting pop up under each quarter. Next. Okay. There's a lot of uploads in this tiered support, and REDCap kind of has a little bit of a limited options on the upload per question. So currently REDCap will allow you to click upload on each question that's needed, but it will only allow you to upload one file. So there's two ways we can kind of work around this. Either you can combine all your documents into one document and upload it because the sizing is very huge. So if you're able to do that, that works. If you're not, we have put some additional upload area at the bottom of each reporting form. So then you can go down, hit the question that you need to upload the additional file, and then add it to there. Another important thing is to remember, always put your records in completed status when you are finished. It will not allow us to change your records once it's in there, and we cannot move it to completed status ourselves. And the only time it will go over to our DMH reviewers is if it is in completed status. Now, if you enter it and are forgetting to put in completed status, we will try to send out notification and reminders so that we can get you to go back in and hit complete. But it will make your life a little easier if you just hit completed on there first. And I think that's all I have.
Thank you, Rachel. Those are great. So before we go into our demonstration of how to enter this data, I want to share a few resources that are available for you. So there's a value-based purchasing website, and that has information about all the different incentives on it, as well as this incentive table that has information about all the different incentives, and an ongoing Q&A question and response document from questions that we've received throughout this process. So if you've got a question, that's a pretty good place to start looking for an answer. Additionally, REDCap, here's an overview of how to use REDCap as well as how to enter the data into REDCap. So what is REDCap overview, and then a data entry overview. And Rachel mentioned this email address earlier. This is a dedicated email for your value-based purchasing needs. So if you're having any problems or have questions, this is where you can go to get support. And that is the end of my PowerPoint here. And I'm going to switch gears and share my desktop with you so that you can see what I did to prepare to enter this data. And the very first thing I did was go to the DMH website, that value-based purchasing website. And I looked in the resources and I grabbed the data sharing checklist, the tiered support data sharing checklist. And I used this checklist and to answer all the questions and identify what documents I needed to provide as evidence here. So I pulled this, and here's my completed one that you're seeing. So on here, I either have a numerical value that answers the question. So in this case, the number of coaching observations that we pledged was 19. And then for documents, I identified that I have a file that is, and then the name of that file. And I saved all of these files here to the same location. So here is everything that I am going to need all in one place. And that's a great thing to get support from your team. You know, you might not have access to all of this stuff, but you can use this checklist to make sure that you have all your documents ready to go, all your information in one spot, so that when you go into the form, you're prepared to answer all of the questions. So here's the prep work that I did going into this. And now I'm ready to go into my into the REDCap. I've already signed in. Rachel showed us how to do that, so I'm already to that point, and I've gone to add edit records. And I'm here, and I've actually started this previously so that I could have a better demonstration to show you. So remember, Rachel mentioned that you won't be able to see these other opportunities until you complete this agency info, and I've done that. So I'm going to open it here so you can see what I did. I'm my contact name is example, and I identified you know, my phone number, email, answered these questions. I also identified where we're providing services. So we're providing services in 2 regions, and then I entered, and then I identified where this data is submitted from. So, you know, could say I'm providing services in Central and Kansas City, but I'm only collecting data in Kansas City. You know, we just want to know where the data is coming from. So identify where you provide services, and then also where the data is submitted from. Next, we'd like to know if you're receiving consultation, just as a quick way to differentiate the data. And then Rachel mentioned earlier that we must enter complete for this to count. So I also have identified this as complete. And I can go to save and exit form or save and go to next record. For the sake of this demonstration, I'm going to go to save and exit form so I can see what the next things that I'm working with. And since I went back in here, I need to provide a reason. It thinks I changed something, so I'm just gonna say that I'm demoing, and that's why I changed it. Okay. So now I'm in my form, and you can see over here that I've got my, I'm opening my yearly, and if I wanted to see status of everything that I'm doing, I can go back here, And like Rachel said, I can't mess anything up. So if you end up in a spot that looks weird, you can go back there to the add edit records and start over. So we know I finished my agency info. And now for the sake of demonstration, I'm going to go to this yearly one, because what I'd really like to show everyone is how to upload the data and then what kind of comments to write in the boxes so that your reviewer is able to review the things that you'd like them to. Okay, so here are all of the questions that I need to answer. And here's that nice extra upload field down here that Rachel mentioned. And I'm just going to start here at the top. And as I answer these questions, I'm going to be provided with additional questions. So if I were to say no, our agency value system implementation expectations outlined in policy and procedure, if I don't have that in place, it's just a simple no. And I am going to move on to the next question. However, I do have that in place. So I'm going to say yes. And then I've been provided an additional question. And do you have shared values, a shared values policy and procedure? I do. Yes, I do. And now it wants me to upload them. And remember, I know exactly where to go because I have already filled out all of this form, and I'm on my annual, the yearly things. And so the policy and procedure outlining my shared values is on page 4 of my policy and procedure document that I have shared in a central place ready to go. So I'm going to go ahead and go to File Upload, choose File, and then I'm going to find my policy and procedure. Here it is. And I know it's on page 4 because I was prepared with that document. So I'm going to say yes, upload. It was successfully uploaded. And now I'm going to enter here the page number because that's going to make it much easier for my reviewer not to go through the 20 pages of my process and procedures and just go directly to document. So policy and procedure, page 4. I'm going to write in my notes section here. I can keep moving on. So again, when I say yes, I'm likely going to be provided with an additional drop down if I need to provide some evidence of that. Are the shared values displayed? Yes. How many service locations do I have? I have 4. That includes my 3 ISLs and my office. And again, we're only providing data here about the ISLs for the payments that's specific to ISL services. So that's the data that we're looking for. Do you have a values matrix for the agency? Yes, I do. And now it wants me to upload that. And again, I could reference, if I need to, I can reference this file that I have ready to go. I'm looking for my PICS matrix. So now I'm going to upload the file, choose file. I'm going to find my PICS matrix. Here we go. Open, upload. I'm going to make a note here because it says that I must provide a value. So in order not to get a little ding here, it's my note. And I'm just going to keep answering these questions. Now, here's an interesting one. This one's asking me to upload the photos that of my matrix posted in homes and in the office. And so I have combined all of those, like Rachel suggested, into one document so that I don't have to upload 5 separate ones. I can just upload one. So I'm going to go here and upload my file that I've already put together. Choose file, find it, upload. There we go. And I'm just going to keep doing this same process over and over until I've successfully uploaded all of my documents. After I do that, I'm going to be provided this attestation that says that I am who I say I am, that this is all accurate data. And then once I'm done, I'm going to save and exit and And if when you go back in, it's going to ask you for a reason to change. So just provide your reason and it'll allow you to save that. So I'm going to do that same thing for the yearly and quarterly, and then also for my monthly. And that's all very much the same. So if I say no, that's the end of it. If I say yes, I likely have additional questions that I need to answer. And same thing, here's the monthly portion of this form. This monthly portion has a lot more enter the numeric values. And again, I have them all right here, ready to go. That would be in the monthly column. And I have all the data points that I need to enter, my meeting dates, etc., ready to go so that I can enter them. So utilizing this data share checklist really helped me prepare to do this and made it so that I could also have the contributions of my agency team and make sure that I'm providing the best and complete data. And then again, Rachel mentioned that none of this is done until I go down here and hit identify that it's complete. And once that's identified as complete, then the reviewer will be able to go in and do their sections. Now you're able to see the reviewer questions. So you're able to go in here and look at the tool that's posted in there for you, as well as the points associated with each. So the reviewer will review the documentation that's provided. They'll say yes or no. And as they identify yeses, you'll earn points as you go, and it'll tally it up. So you can also go in here and look at all of the reviewer questions that will be asked based on the evidence that you submit. Additional tools here at your disposal are a direct link to the value-based purchasing website over here in project bookmarks on the far left. You'll see the value-based purchasing website you can click on. It'll take you right there. There's that. Also take you to the assessment guide so that you can again do that self-assessment and know what your score is going to be going into this. So here's the assessment guide with the various questions that are being asked, the evidence that you're asked to submit based on to prove your response to the question, and then what the DMH reviewer is going to ask about what's provided. And that's how they'll score and identify your agency's level of implementation. Now, the last thing here, Rachel showed you a couple screenshots from this, but she also has the REDCap VBP reporting guide here for you. And this is a great little walkthrough specific to tiered supports that walks you from login, all the login screen, identifying what project you're looking for. You're looking for tiered supports, show you how to add a new record. And this will just walk you straight through the completion of this form. So reporting, the provider attestation, additional reporting, so moving between the yearly, quarterly, and monthly entries. And then it has this resource here, a link right here to the email address that you can send any questions or support needs that you have regarding the data entry as you go. So again, all the support tools are over here in project bookmarks. Those are available for you. You'll be able to see, or you'll be able to enter, have the opportunity to enter after you complete your agency info. Then these will become available to you. You'll need to hit complete. Once you hit complete, that will cue the DMH reviewer that your data is available for review. And that completes our demo of how to enter in REDCap and submit your evidence for your level of implementation assessment and your monthly reporting. And there's a few questions in the chat box. We're going to provide an FAQ, but there's a couple that I think I can answer. One is this is a reminder that this is specific to ISL providers, not group homes or any other services, just simply ISL providers. And then another question about uploading policies. The question was, when you upload the policies, do we want your entire manual or can you upload a single policy? You can do either, whichever is easier for you. If you do choose to upload your entire manual, please be specific about what page number the specific policy that's being requested is on. And that'll help the DMH reviewer complete their review. And then when you're starting to use REDCap, the question is, when you're starting to use REDCap, will we have to start with annual and quarterly before we can do monthly? And the answer is no, you can do any of those in whichever order works for you. You can navigate between them. Okay. Those are the questions that I see in the chat box, and we'll provide an FAQ. And there's a couple more intricate questions that the panelists got that we will include in the FAQ along with responses.
Are you done, Kathleen?
Yes, I am going to grab the VBP website and put it in the chat box just for ease.
Okay.